Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen. You're watching Kristincooks. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for coming by my channel. Thank you for joining my videos, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I hope you enjoy the content that I have created, and I hope you'll stick around. So let's get down to it, okay? It's dinner time. I just put my peach galettes. It's in a video before this. I'll post it maybe tonight. I don't know. But so dinner time. I wanted to get my weekly list ready. I was doing this last night, and I was thinking, what can I do that's a little bit different, you know? I mean, I feel like I kind of make the same things over and over. And plus, I want to create content for you guys that you'll enjoy, and just things that might be new and interesting. But anyway, so I thought, I have a lot of cookbooks in my cupboard over there. Why am I not using them more? You get so in the habit of using Pinterest and just social media as a whole that you forget about, you know, going back to the way things used to be before that. You just had cookbooks. So that brings me to my dinner tonight. So I'm going to be cooking a recipe out of Pioneer Woman's cookbook here. It's called Dinner Time. I searched most used or most popular, that's the word, I'm sorry. Most popular Pioneer Woman cookbook, and this one came up. So I thought I would try a recipe out of this cookbook. Plus a few others I'm going to do also during the week. But I wanted to make this orange chicken recipe like that. That's what I'm going to be making tonight. I've made orange chicken quite a few times, okay? But usually not this recipe because, you know, I forget about my cookbooks over there. So I thought, what can I do that my family will like? It doesn't take very much time, and that would be an enjoyable video for you guys. So I came up with this recipe. So I'm going to make, and this is under the 16-minute meals section of this cookbook. So I am going to get going on this. But anyway, I just wanted to do a little intro here and say hi. Let's have dinner. Let's make dinner together. And orange chicken, here we come. So here we have my zucchini that is growing quite nicely, actually. So I have this bigger one here, I think is ready to go. So I'm going to grill this one. Let me just cut it here. Ooh! Sorry, guy. Anyway, that is a very nice zucchini, if I do say so myself. Okay, so we're going to do veggies, grilled veggies. I have my zucchini that I just picked outside, a bell pepper, and we're going to do some onion. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And I'm going to chop things up and put them in this bowl here, and then I have some seasonings here also. So let's get going with this. Okay. So for the zucchini, this is kind of a big one. So first I'm going to cut it open down the middle, just like that. That's what it looks like. Very nice. I'm just going to cook the whole thing here. Why not, actually? So let's see. What do I want to do? I think I want to do half moons for the shape. So I'll just very easily and simply kind of cut some half moons. These are a little thick. Some of these, just slice them like that. All right. And put them in the bowl. Do the other one. Okay. And you know, veggies have a lot of water in them, so these will shrink down a little bit as they're cooking. Okay, let me just rinse this off real quick. Bell pepper. There we go. So we'll just go like so here. All right. So summer is almost over. Huckleberry, you need to leave. Thank you. Goodbye. And, you know, we're going to start getting back into school. Is everybody kind of bummed about that? Or are you like ready for the cooler weather and temperatures and just being able to change up your meals? I think I'm ready for a change. I was ready for the summer, but I think I'm kind of ready for just things to cool down a little bit. We'll break out the slow cooker a little bit more and, you know, make some nice cozy soups and, you know, enjoy things. The change in seasons and the colors and the temperatures and, you know, just ready for something different. I'm going to throw this in the trash. Okay. All right. So I'm going to cut this down the middle, I think. I don't know if we're going to use this whole thing or not. But, and then we'll just do some slices. That. Have my bowl. Just put these in the bowl. Ooh, that's kind of a strong onion. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. So, do you guys like the Pioneer Woman? I love the Pioneer Woman. I've been watching her cooking show since it first came out. When was it? 2013, I think. I was a young mom. Well, maybe not young. I guess so. Anyway, I had a young child. I had my daughter. And I was like, oh my goodness. I loved her just casual way of cooking. And just her whole approach. See, the onion is strong. To cooking and preparing meals. And, you know, she didn't care that it wasn't like, you know, really polished up. There's a ladybug on my phone. Look it. It came in with me from outside. I'm going to put him outside. Okay, I'm back. I had to dab at my eyes. They were watering. So anyway, Pioneer Woman. So yeah. And I loved that she loved photography and she used a photographer. I love photography and I just loved everything about that woman. So we have garlic salts. I'm going to put some paprika and onion powder and garlic powder. And I have like several of her cookbooks. I love her cookbooks. Black pepper. Quite a bit there. You get a spoon. And I would watch her show every day or every Saturday morning. It came on. I think it's still on Saturday mornings. But I just really enjoyed her show. And she was always telling really interesting stories, and it was just her angle about being a rancher's wife and how she would fix meals for her family and all the workers working her ranch, and like when she would start her meal prep and all that. It was just really interesting to me, and I liked it. I still like it. She's done quite well for herself, hasn't she? But anyway, I think I'm going to put just a little bit more oil. This is just olive oil, just to make sure that everything gets nice and brown and crispy and all that. So I'm going to cook my veggies out on my grill, but I'm going to put my little basket down so that nothing falls through the grates and I waste my food. So I'm just going to set this right here for now and wait until I'm ready to put them on the grill. So that's one side down, done, ready to go, ready to be prepared. So I'm going to start some rice. You know how to do rice. I won't show you how to do rice, but I'm going to serve this with a side of rice, the orange chicken. And then I'm going to go get my chicken, get it cleaned up, and cube it up, whatever it says to do, and just kind of get myself organized. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna start on the chicken. So we need 4 egg whites. So I have 4 eggs here. So I'm just gonna try and separate them between these 2 bowls here, but we do want the whites in the big bowl here because we're going to combine the egg whites with some cornstarch. And that's going to be the coating on the chicken. All right, so far so good. Just quickly do this. Just pass it between both hands. We don't need the yolk. All right. All right, perfect. All right, wash my hands real quick. Ew, oh my god, that's what that was. Oh my god, let me show you. A praying mantis flew in my house. Where is he? Let me see. See him? Right there. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to call my daughter in here and have her do something with it. I'm trying to get dinner done. But anyway, that was just interesting. Let me see. There we go. That's a good one. Oh my god, look at you. Hi. I don't know if he wants to be on in my video today, but he doesn't really have a choice. What's he doing? That is so cool. Anyway, I'm just gonna let him be for now. He's not hurting anybody. So Okay, so now I get out my old cornstarch again. I seem to really like this. It's featured a lot here. So I'm gonna take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, put them in with the egg whites, like so. And I'm gonna get my little whisk out here. And her directions say, whisk together until completely combined and slightly frothy. So that's what we're going to do. Let me show you a different angle. Right. I think we're about there. It says combined and slightly frothy. I think we're good to go with those. Set those aside. I'll dispose of this a little later. Okay, now for the chicken. Okay, so I'm out here at the grill. So as you can see, my little basket there is heated up and ready to go. So I'm gonna throw my veggies in and let those start cooking. As we get other things, the chicken going, I'm just gonna turn the heat down. I don't want these to get totally charred. Those look good though. Those look awesome. Let's see, hope they don't catch fire. Okay, so now we have chicken thighs. And she, in her recipe, it's only for like 4 chicken thighs. But I think I'm gonna do a couple more because I feel like 4 wouldn't be enough. I feel like we need maybe that much. We'll do that. So I'm just gonna clean up the chicken thighs a little bit here. I'm just kind of distracted by that praying mantis. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna let him stay in here too long though. I'll just let him cool off a little bit. I'm sure he's nice and cool in here than outside in the heat. It's very hot today here in Oregon. It was like 100, about 100 today, about 100 yesterday, and it's just really, really hot. So that's why I say I'm ready for like the cooler weather. But I'm not, the heat's good. I'm not complaining, not one bit. I'm not gonna do that. You wait a long time for the nice hot heat to come, especially in the Pacific Northwest here. So I'm not gonna complain. Let me see about my veggies. I don't see a lot of smoke happening there. I think they might be all right for now. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna get these cut up and into the egg white mixture, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I have my chicken all cut up here, and she doesn't season it in her recipe, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I like to do that, just to make sure there's enough flavor everywhere. I don't like it when there's bland food after you go through all the effort to make it. So I'm just gonna quickly make sure and make sure everything is seasoned well. This is ground ginger. Let me smell it just to make sure, but I'm sure that's what that is. Yes. Woo! Okay, so I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of it. And that'll go really well with the garlic powder and garlic salts. I'm gonna do a little bit of paprika too. Why not? Okay, let me get some tongs and I'll mix it all together. Alright. Sure. Everything is nice and coated in the seasoning. And then we're going to throw this into the egg white and cornstarch. And this is going to sit for a little bit while I'm going to heat up my pan to fry these, and we'll start on the sauce. So it sounds good to me. Here we are with our sauce, our coating. And I'll tell you what, this beats the you know what out of breading everything and flouring everything. So I think I'm gonna like this method a little better. So just gonna toss them around in this cornstarch egg whites. And then this is gonna sit for about 5 minutes, but when I'm gonna start on the sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna make the slurry really quick before I start the sauce in the pan. So I have about a 1/4 cup of cold water and a couple tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm just going to dissolve the cornstarch into the cold water. When you make a cornstarch slurry, you want to use cold water and not warm. So I'll just stir this up and have it ready and waiting for me to add it in. So in this pan, this deep-sided pan, I have the orange juice that I squeezed, some soy sauce, and for sweetness, I'm going to put in honey, but you could also use brown sugar if you want to use that instead. It's just going with the sweet, and this vinegar here is going to complement it with a little bit of sourness. And then here is some chopped ginger and garlic. And then that's going to go in, bring it up to a little bit of a simmer, stir it around. And now that my oil is hot enough, I'm going to start frying the chicken pieces. So you just fill it up, turn them around. They don't take long to cook at all because they're small pieces. So you just put them in, turn them around. When they're golden brown, they're done, and you take them out and put them on a paper towel lined sheet or plate or platter, what have you, and just have them on standby while you thicken up the orange sauce. So now that the sauce is ready for the slurry, I'll just pour it in, let it come up to a simmer again, and it'll start to thicken. Also, if you want it a little bit spicy, you could add in some red pepper flakes to the sauce, and it's pretty much done at this point. It's really easy, really simple. So now that the sauce is done, I'm just going to toss in the fried chicken pieces and stir them around. And at this point, the dinner is pretty much done. So now on a plate, I'll just put down some rice, some jasmine rice, like so. Add the chicken on top and some green onion, and boom, there you go. Dinner's ready, and this was fabulous. I hope you try it, and I'll have it linked for you. Bye.